You did the rehab, you did the band drills, so why does your shoulder still feel like it's one bad rep away from snapping? I had a slap tear. I rested for a month, hoping it would heal itself, but nothing changed. No strength, no range, still couldn't lift without pain. Then a mate of mine, a sports physio for elite athletes, took one look at my shoulder and said, "This is what you actually need to do." The results were almost instant. Pain gone, range back, strength climbing again. But here's the thing. Most people don't have access to that level of physio. They go to a clinic, get some band drills and generic advice, and stay stuck. Not because they're broken, but because the rehab they got was garbage. So I built a system on what actually works, the stuff that elite athletes get, adapted for real people. And I'll show you exactly how it works. Your shoulder can function without pain, even with a slap tear. See, when you have a slap tear, what happens is that the nervous system locks down the whole shoulder joint. So it tries to reduce movement in fear of the injury getting worse. So that's why in the initial stages of slap tear, for me, I couldn't even lift my arm past here, and going out here was just absolutely impossible. But you can rebuild that system. You don't need surgery, and it doesn't matter that the slap tear will still be there. Your shoulder can function normally. Most shoulder pain is movement related. So even though you've had this traumatic injury and the nervous system has reacted by locking everything down, what happens is that during that process of rest and just sort of waiting it out, is that the scapular stabilizers and the rotator cuff actually forget how to do their job properly. And then with this dysfunctional shoulder movement, you start experiencing something called joint glide, and that's where so much of the pain comes from. So the humerus, this bone here, it sits up in the glenohumeral joint. It's a ball and socket joint like this, and it's designed to move like that. But what happens when your rotator cuff and the scapular stabilizers aren't doing their job properly, you start getting joint glide where the joint moves like this, and that is what causes the real pain. And to rebuild that system, we need to move away from isolated treatment and into structural balance training. So structural balance has 5 components to it. First is the balance from left to right side. So we need to train unilateral movements. In the earlier phases, we avoid barbell movements where the stronger side can take over and do all the work. Next is the balance between opposing muscle groups. So think bicep and tricep in the elbow. They're 2 opposing muscles. One extends the elbow, one flexes the elbow. If there's an imbalance between those 2 muscle systems, then the elbow joint is going to be compromised. And the shoulder is a way more complex joint. There's so many more muscle systems at play there. So we need to make sure that the pushing and the pulling muscles are balanced. Next is the balance between the inner unit of the stabilization systems and the outer unit of the prime movers. So I talked about the inner unit already, which is the scapular stabilizers and the rotator cuff, and the outer unit are the bigger superficial muscles that you can see in the mirror. So the pecs, the deltoids, biceps, triceps, and lats. The common programs that you're used to doing, they really favor the outer unit, but a lot of rehab programs that physios are giving, they're only attacking the inner unit. They're just doing these basic band exercises, and they're not looking for this structural balance approach. The 4th part of structural balance is balance between upper and lower body. Not so relevant for a slap tear, but it is relevant to make sure that you don't have other injuries down the road. So you don't want to be just isolating work on your shoulder. You want to be making sure that you're training your whole body so that you don't fix your slap tear or fix the symptoms of the slap tear, and then only to run into a problem with your knees or your hips or your back or something like that. And then finally, the 5th element of structural balance is the balance between strength and flexibility. And one without the other is always going to lead to problems. Okay, let's have a look at the UMS approach and how we deal with this issue. So in the earlier stages, we're going to be really focusing on re-strengthening the neuromuscular connection with the scapular stabilizers and the rotator cuff. So that's the connection between the brain and the muscles. So when these systems basically forget how to do their job properly, your brain is trying to tell these muscles to do a certain function and they're just not doing it. So we need to retrain it with some very specific exercises. So scapular control drills using medicine balls and using very light weights. And then for the rotator cuff, we use banded work. Now, it's really important with these exercises that you leave your ego at the door. This is not about lifting heavy. This is about retraining the neuromuscular connection. And you will only do that if the reps are performed with correct technique. So this is where coaching really comes into play, and it's very valuable to have somebody who's been through this journey looking at your technique and making sure you're doing things the right way. So if you need help with that, go to unitygym.com and I can guide you and make sure you're doing it the right way. We always do these exercises as the warm-up because we want to re-strengthen that neuromuscular connection between the scapular stabilizers and the rotator cuff before we do any other lifting work. We want to basically remind the shoulder how to do its job properly, and then we move in to reduced range of motion strength training. So we do things like pushing and pulling exercises, but we don't start with overhead pressing. Overhead pressing is going to cause you so much problems in the earlier stages of shoulder rehab. So what we do is we strength train the pain-free range, which is for most people, it's really just here. If the humerus goes much more into shoulder flexion here or into horizontal abduction like this, it causes a lot of pain. So we basically train that pain-free range. So in the very early phases, we're going to be doing things like floor presses and bent over rows, all with dumbbells. We want unilateral work, remember, so that we can make sure that we're training each side individually so that we don't favor that stronger side. Then we also need to strengthen the biceps and triceps as well, because the biceps and triceps, they both do cross the shoulder joint, so they have a function in shoulder movement, and we want to train the entire kinetic chain as well. We don't want to just isolate just the area that we feel that we have the injury. We need to look at this from a systematic approach. And then this is a really important thing to understand. The exercises that you do at the start of your rehab journey are only going to be suitable for you for about 4 to 6 weeks. 6 weeks max, some people even only for 2 to 3 weeks. And then you need to level up the exercises to something a little bit more challenging, and that's through a process called periodization. So don't get stuck watching a video like this, learning a few exercises and thinking that they're the be all and end all for shoulder rehab. It's not. It's a progressive journey where every 4 weeks we need to go to some slightly more challenging exercises to reflect your body's adaptation. And when you do this properly, you know, I went from not being able to lift my arm past here, and 3 months later, I was doing behind the head shoulder presses again, pain-free. So it works very, very quickly if you do it right. Now, this hasn't just worked for me. It's worked for hundreds of people around the world. We've got so many Google reviews that you can go and read, and I've got some really good case studies. So Freezy here, who's all the way over in China, he doesn't even speak that well English. I'm working with him, and when he came to me, his shoulder pain was very similar to mine. He was told he needed surgery, and within 4 months, he had an immediate reduction in pain within a week, like everybody does. 4 months later, he was completely pain-free, and another 4 months later, he was lifting more in shoulder pressing and bench pressing and all of the big lifts than he could lift before the slap tear. Dennis over in the Netherlands is another incredible story. He tried all of the YouTube fixes. He watched all the videos. He tried all of the magic exercises and nothing worked. 4 months of the UMS and he was completely pain-free. And a year later, he's still completely pain-free and he's lifting with strength and with confidence again. And so if you're still feeling that level of pain, here's the fear that no one says out loud: that you're going to need surgery, that you'll never be able to press pain-free again, and that this is the new normal. But it doesn't have to be. The problem isn't you, it's the rehab that you got. Fix the system and you fix the shoulder. Or keep settling for pain, half-effort workouts, and one more maybe this will help drill that won't.